Have you ever wished you had a secret weapon for just, everyday life? Well, you're in luck because today we're going to unlock one. The power to estimate decimals right in your head. Seriously, it's like a mental math superpower that can save you time, money, and a whole lot of stress. So how does this actually work in the real world? Let's jump into a situation I think we've all been in.
Okay, picture this. You're right there at the checkout line. You've got your items, you reach for your phone to use the calculator, and it's dead. Black screen. That little bit of panic starts to creep in, right? Do you actually have enough cash for all this? Or are you about to do that awkward walk of shame to put something back? Yeah, we've all been there.
But what if you didn't even need that calculator? What if you could just know? Well, consider this the calculator-free challenge. I'm going to show you a super simple way to get a really close answer all in your head in just a couple of seconds.
Here it is. This is the whole secret. It's just 2 steps. That's it. First, you just take the numbers you're dealing with and round them to the nearest whole number. Second, you multiply those new, much friendlier numbers. Simple, right? Let's actually see it in action. All right, it's time for our first case study. We're going grocery shopping, and this is where our little mental math superpower is really going to shine. We're about to take a messy-looking decimal problem and turn it into something we can solve in a snap.
So here's the setup. This is Alan Cora. She's buying a bunch of chicken for a big family dinner. She's got 8.5 kilos, and the price is P185.35 per kilo. Yeah, those are not exactly numbers you want to be multiplying in your head on the fly.
And notice the key word here, about. We don't need the exact amount down to the last centavo to know if we've got enough cash. We just need a close estimate to feel confident. So, about how much did all that chicken cost her? Let's figure it out together.
Okay, time to work that magic. Step 1, let's round these factors. We're going to take those tricky numbers and make them way, way simpler.
First up, the price, P185.35. Since that number after the decimal point, the 3, is less than 5, we're just going to round down. So it becomes a nice, clean 185. So much easier to deal with, right?
Next up, the weight, 8.5 kilos. Now, here's a key rule to remember. Anytime a number ends in 0.5, you always round up. It's just a standard rule that keeps things consistent. So 8.5 becomes 9.
And now for the final move. We just multiply our new rounded numbers. So instead of that complicated decimal mess from before, we just have to solve 185 times 9. That is so much more manageable.
And there we go. Our answer is about P1665. Just like that, Alan Cora can glance in her wallet and know with confidence whether she has enough. No calculator, no stress.
So we got our estimate. But you might be wondering, okay, how close are we really? And did we guess a little too high or a little too low? This is where we can add another layer to our superpower. Let's dig in a little closer.
And check this out. This gives us a great visual. Our estimate was P1665. The actual exact price, P1575 and some change. So as you can see, our estimate was a little bit higher, but it's really close. It's definitely close enough to make a good call at the checkout counter.
This brings us to a couple of really useful terms. Because our estimate of P1665 was a little higher than the actual cost, we call that an overestimate. Now, if our guess had been lower, that would be an underestimate. In Alan Cora's situation, overestimating is actually a good thing. It's always safer to think you need a little more cash than a little less. All right, you've seen the process, you know how it works. Let's run through another super common scenario, filling up the car at the gas station. And this time, we're going to pick up the pace, because you're already getting the hang of this.
Okay, so here's the deal. You need 10.25 liters of gas, and the price on the sign is P71.85 per liter. Again, these are not the friendliest numbers to work with. Let's see how fast we can estimate the total.
Step 1, rounding. That P71.85? Well, the 8 after the decimal tells us to bump that up to 72. And the 10.25 liters? The 2 after the decimal tells us to round that down to 10. See how quick that was?
And now for the easiest part of all. Step 2, multiply our new numbers. What's 72 times 10? Come on, this is one we can all do in our heads instantly.
And boom, the answer is about P720. In just a few seconds, you went from a confusing problem with a bunch of decimals to a clear, confident estimate. That is the whole point of this method. So look, this isn't just some party trick for math nerds. You've just unlocked a genuinely practical, useful skill. This is your new math superpower, and it's something you can use all the time.
And it's so true. The source material puts it perfectly, saying that in your everyday life, you use estimation all the time. Think about it, figuring out travel time, planning a budget, even splitting a dinner bill with friends. Now you can do it with more confidence and accuracy.
So what does all this really mean for you? Well, it means you can walk into pretty much any store or gas station and estimate your costs in seconds. You can make quicker, smarter decisions on the spot. And honestly, you'll just feel more confident when you don't have to rely on a calculator for every little thing.
We've basically taken a situation that can be pretty stressful and turned it into a simple, two-step process you can do in your head. So I'll just leave you with this thought. Now that you have this tool in your mental toolkit, what other everyday problems are you going to solve with it? What are you going to figure out next?